This is Van Home's 1/6 scale Mustang Shelby, which is big enough for a 12-inch figure. We've already put together a couple of stages, and today we're going to be doing 31 more, from real working doors to realistic seats and more. Better stay tuned. This is your Geek Fix. It's been a while since we last put together any of this model. We've had a lot of things going on, and I let the boxes really kind of pile up. I did find, though, I was able to take the contents of about those 8 boxes and condense them down into one large box. Also, this model comes with these magazine holders that do help you to organize the magazines, and so I just put them in there in order. So now all I have to do is just pull those as I go along and pull the parts that come with them. They also have some cool gifts that these boxes come with, including mini versions of the GT500 1967 Shelby. So we got this white one right here. I also got a mini green one that is basically the same exact model we're putting together in a much smaller form. So if you're curious what it will look like in the end in a very small version, there it is. We also have a mug in here that looks super nice. Has the same colors as our Shelby car, that dark green and kind of off-white. And then we also got these posters, which are really cool. I like that one. I think maybe I'll give these to my dad. He would really like these. I really like that white one particularly. This one's probably my favorite one, actually. But that's enough of that. What we're here to do today is to put together, really, I think 31 stages, because we've done 2, and we're going all the way to stage 33. So, typically I'd get my model map out that helps divide everything up, but at the same time, I think it's too small, and it's a pretty good size one if you've seen me build with it before. But I discovered the last time I was working on this, it didn't really work that well for me. So instead I'm just going to be using, I've got a pill box here, and then I've got one of their D'Agostini boxes, organizers for my screws. With that, I'm going to put my parts over here for a minute. So now I've got a clean playing field for us to start building. So I'm going to pull our first magazine, which these are in order right now. So this is number 3 of stage 3. So I'm also going to grab box number 3, which is right here. Open this up, flip this over. Look at that. Real metal pieces too. Okay, except for these are plastic. Put those over there. Actually, all right. Wow, look at that. Very cool. So, the first thing we're going to do, according to this, is... Oh, I thought this was like something where we'd be breaking these off. I thought this was like sprue stuff, and it's not. You keep it just like it is right here, and we're just placing it onto here. So making sure I've got it the right direction. Sure enough, I do. And then, looks like I put it this direction going down. Then I'm going to take this one right here and I'm going to place it right on top of it, just like that. Flipping it over now. And then we're putting screws into the opposite side. Okay, and then there we go. Look at that. Look at that. There's all those details underneath. They're now covered up. We're going to do the same thing on the opposite side. So pegs go on there first. This part goes on top of that, just like that. Flipping it over, grabbing 2 screws. As always, they give you an extra screw for being able to lose a screw, mess up in some way. Then, yeah, look at that. Very cool. All right, and that is it for assembly for number 3. I'm going to leave that magazine over there. Now I'm going to grab my number 4 magazine, which has in it this door. Very cool. Look how big it is. It's huge. Once again, this is 1/6 scale, so if you have any 12-inch figures, that's how big this is. We're talking big enough for your 12-inch figures, which for me right now are my Iron Man, Tony Stark figures, are my Indiana Jones figure, my Bruce Campbell figure. That maybe Bruce will be driving this. We'll see. So, step numero uno. We're going to be taking the door just like this, and we're going to get 4G. And 4G was that little tiny piece that you saw me trying to take out, which I'm afraid of even holding at the moment. But in a second here, hopefully we're going to secure it. Oh, it actually does get screwed in. Wow, that's small. You wouldn't think so. Okay. Here it goes. Just like that. All right. There's one side that was flat at the bottom. I'll hold it right here. And then I'm going to grab that screw. Just like that. And I think that's one of those where you don't want to over screw it. But look at that. There's that little tiny area for my key. Alright. Next we're going to be doing assembly of the mirror. So I'm going to stick it on. Stick it on here just like this. Just like that. So it fits. We're going to take this. And we're going to be going just like that. Okay. And, all right, just like that. And then it says, now I'm going to press the rear view mirror, the 4K, which is right here. And it looks like it came even with some protective stuff on it. I'm going to press that into L position mirror holder. 2 pins on the left side of the mirror hold the fit sockets on the rear view mirror. It's recommended that you do not remove the plastic protector from it until much later. So we don't want to remove that until basically we're done with the car, I think. So I'm just going to take it for right now, although it's hard to make sure it doesn't go inside of it. But whatever. There we go. Pushing it in. Securing it in place. There it goes. And now we got a rear view mirror, complete with a little bit of stuff on it for protecting it. Oh, we're not going to put the mirror onto the car yet, but okay. So next, I'm going to take my handle, though, right here. So we want the thick end, it says, goes here. So just like that. Oh, very nice. Then we're going to use another P09 screw on the opposite side. And then I'm wanting to put that into this one right here, I guess. Just like that. Okay. Then I'm going to take my mirror. Now I'm taking my mirror. Right? We're sticking it into this hole because this is the left side door. Right? And that's going to be sticking through just like that. And then I'm going to be taking and securing that into place. Perfect. Sorry about the camera situation. I'm trying to... I had to adjust it higher than normal because these are bigger pieces than I'm normally used to dealing with. Alright. Now, got that all in there. Let me flipping this over and we're going to be working on the internals now. And so I'm going to place the inner lock flange. We'll go right about here. And then I'm attaching that with 13 screws again. Okay. And so there we go. Now we are now going to position this little teeny piece right here. And this is crazy because this means that this car is going to work. It's going to work and look very much like a real car. But at any rate, then I'm going to be taking this piece just like that, so that when this part gets pushed, it will push on this. Okay, and then I'm going to lock that into place using this part right here. And put it like that. And then we're going to put this screw on top of it.
Okay. So now when I push on this, look at that. Let's hang on. There you go. Look at that. See that latch? It's opening up by me pushing on, just like on a real car. That little tiny button is going to open up the car door. That's crazy. How cool is that? Okay. So, with that said, we have now completed this part. We're on to magazine number 5. Now we're going to be building the seats, it looks like. I'm pretty excited about this part, actually. I'm going to go ahead and take that apart. Check that out. That's like real foam interior. Ooh, that's pretty nice. Nice stuff. All right. Lay things out a little bit for myself, and all right. So next, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take these two pieces right here, getting ready the left front of the seat backrest frame and the left front seat backrest, and then we're gonna fit one inside the other. It looks like. Okay, just like this, I guess. Interesting. All right, and then when we've done all that, we're gonna take this little piece right here. Oop, if I can pick it up, there it is. Okay, I'm gonna stick that inside of there. Right, all sides being equal, and just stick it right on in there. Look at that little detail. All right, perfect. Then we're going to take this piece right here, this way down, right? True. Just like that. Perfect. And then we're going to be taking the screws that came with this one, and ting. We're going to need 4 of these screws. They're now going to go, oops, into here. All right, and just like that, we have this very realistic feeling and looking. Can you see all the details in there? I mean, just look at that. That is incredible. How much that looks and feels like the real thing. At any rate, so that's that part. Now, we're going to take this right here, and it's going to fit right in there onto that piece, just like that. It just kind of is laying in there for right now. This is like some of our other models we built, so we've got to wait to be able to do more with that. All right, and with that, I'm now on to magazine number 6. That's right, there's some more seat parts here. I was kind of thinking about live streaming this, but gave up on it. So maybe next time, though. We're taking this piece right here and this piece right here. I'm going to fit this inside of here, just like that, and just like that. Okay, perfect. I've got these metal pieces right here, and we're going to be sticking those onto here. You see how these have some pegs right here? I'm going to stick those pegs into these little holes, and just like that. This one, same thing. I'm going to take it, stick it into those pegs, push it down, and boom. Look at that. I'm going to grab this piece right here, and we're going to grab our seat piece that we just barely finished a second ago, and we're going to be sticking this. See these little pins? There's one there. There's one there. They're so discreet I didn't notice them. You can see them against the pillow. I'm going to be connecting these into those. So trying to line them up first. There we go. And it just kind of clips together, just like that. Ooh, I like that look too. This very much looks like that kind of 1970s, 1960s plastic, kind of like on a camera or something like that. Oh, that feels so real. It looks so real. It's so cool. All right. So now we've got the bottom of our seat. We've got the top of our seat. They're not hooked together yet. We're not hooking them together yet. Let's see, like either. I'll set those aside for a second. Who knows? Maybe in our next magazine. That brings us to number 7. Been going too long. Oh, this is so cool. Okay, here's some cool details coming up here. Again, some of this I don't know is necessary because it's not going to show. You know, look at this. The springs at the bottom of the seat, they do actually work though. I can feel them. But on the flip side, like, is it necessary? I don't think so. It's kind of like a Gundam situation. Okay, so now bringing this bottom seat back around right here, and there's some like little pegs here. Let me see, like that. Yeah, I guess so. I'm gonna take this piece right here, and I'm gonna stick that right on in there, like so. And then I'm gonna take this piece and I'm gonna stick it right on down on top of this, which I see where's the pegs fit now, like that, and then like that. Okay, and then I need my screws. Okay, woo! Look at that, and it even leans in backward, forward. Wow. Okay. Then this one comes around. It would be underneath it. Okay. So it should go like this and like that. Right there. It pops right on into there. Boom. Like that. There we go. Now you got that for sliding your seat forward and back. And then this one, I'm guessing, will go on the opposite side. Oh, no, it doesn't matter which way it goes. Okay. So now we've got the rails where our seat would technically go backward and forward. It feels so cushy. It feels and looks like a real seat. Oh, it's so good. That is so good. It's so crazy. In a lot of ways, really engineered like the real thing. So very cool. Okay, so there's that. 8. Number 8 is right here. This is kind of a bigger bag. A little lock right there. Look at that. Let's see. There we go. See, there's a little lock. It'll stay unlocked apparently because that does not go up and down. But there's the interior of our door. Also, got this right here. All right, so the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take this, and all we're doing is just sticking it inside of that. Just like this, lining up the pins, getting those pins to go in there, running my finger along it, and boom. Oh, we are gonna actually be able to secure that into place. We're gonna use a PS12 screw in a few places to be able to do that. These are the PS12s right here. All right, there we go. Now that is really secured on there. Next, I'm gonna be taking this piece and this piece. We're gonna, let's see here, orienting it this way. That is the way we're doing it. We're putting it like this. And laying it that way. Yeah, sure enough. A PS11 screw is going to go in there. Right about there. Maybe. I don't know. Okay. Next, flip this over. This part is going to go. You got to open it up all the way. And placing the handle like this. So through this hole like that, maybe, and then like that. Then an PS05 screw. And like that. And then it should look like this. Something like that. See that? I guess. Any rate. So, that being said, that's it for that assembly, I guess. Wait. Oh yeah, there's another piece that's coming. Maybe in our next magazine here. This one now. Number 9. And, oh, I'm gonna put this to the side. We're doing something we've done already once before. I wish I would have done this more recently, because I remember struggling with this part. It just was hard to put together, as I remember. But nonetheless, so, I mean, the way I remember it is just basically, I gotta fit this inside of here. So 1, like that. Push it up inside, just like that. Bring this one down. Same thing, gonna be a little bit harder. At the same time. Okay, now we've got these little spaces right here. One on that side, one on that side, and that's where these things come in. And they kind of like clip right in there and go snap like that. Clip in and go snap like that. And boom, we got ourselves, whoops, a tire. Saying that I don't pop it back out by accident. There we go. All right, so here's a tire. I'm going to put over here with my other tire for the moment, because they didn't have us do the other things that we did with the other one yet. Sure enough, there they are. And remember, there's also a little tiny pin that represents our air valve. Okay. And I don't want to lose that pin. I'm going to be taking these now. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take that valve piece, stick it right on through this, just like that. And I think if I turn it the right way, it will actually push all the way into it. There it goes, just like that. So now I've got this little valve. And then the next thing that I want to do is I'm going to take this thing. Oh, there's a certain way it goes. There's a little groove. See, just like this. Stick that like that. Push it down. And boom. Another detail. All pre-ratcheted, right? And then what we're going to do is I'm going to take that to my tire right here, which I can't remember. It doesn't look like it matters which side I go into. These things have to go into my little grooves. So see that groove right there? Kind of right there. That's where these grooves have to go. So just like that. Then we're going to take on the other side, and I'm going to bring this part, also has those grooves to line up with, just like this. Right there. So the way I did this was I just screwed in the screws on opposite sides until they all became tight around there. Once when I've done that, I can now put this in here where it's just going to hang out basically until another time. I'm going to grab magazine 11, I believe it is, stage 11. Yep. And now, oh, here we go. It looks like we're bringing back my door. So, bringing this back right here. Got this back right here. I'm going to keep those in there because most of this is clear plastic we're dealing with. I don't want it to get scratched. Next, what I'm going to be doing is, first and foremost, it looks like I'm grabbing... Oh, it's underneath this, though, so I'm going to have to move it. Yeah, there we go. See this right here? I'm going to want to drag that starting from the mirror arm flange right here. So here we go. So I'm just going to be applying it along here so that my window, when it rolls up or down, it won't. On a real car, it would stick up a little bit, so I'm going to do that. Okay. Perfect. All right. Then, from there, I'm going to be taking this piece right here, and I'm going to be attaching it right here, just like so. Yes. All right. Just like that. All right. Then, this is what the left door will look like once the quarter window is placed. Keep the left window, internal window guide safe. So they're going to be used later. So we're not actually using these just yet. I'm setting those aside. Hopefully for the next magazine. Which now we're on to 12 here. So as I go into 12. And that. 12D, this is the one right here. I'm going to take this right here, and I'm going to be putting it just like that right there. Okay. This right here, and I'm going to secure it against that like that. All right. All right. Next, we're going to be taking 12A, which is this one right here. And like this. So there's two pegs, 1, 2, and a hole in the center. And I'm taking those and I'm putting them onto this. Oops. I think that's it right there. All right. And then I'm going to be putting a SO2 screw for that too as well. I'm screwing into metal so I did it nice and tight. Then we're going to be taking this one that goes over here near the there. Right? And then this one right here goes downward like right there. Like that. Just like that. Okay. And then this one goes down this way. So this part right here, that is going to go downward onto here. Just like that. Next, we're going to do an SO4 screw in this one right here. I'm guessing I don't want it to be too tight, but at the same time, it's got to be able to stay on there, right? Okay. Good enough. Okay, that's as tight as it gets. All right. And then I also want to do one of those right here. Can I guess that we're also doing one? Yep, right here. Just like that. Okay. Very good. We're going to be bringing over my actual window now. This doesn't have protective stuff on it like the other one did, but and it goes this direction, and so we can see where that stuff goes. All right, and then we're going to be taking this part right here, which takes care of all those parts from last time. Right, and I'm going to be putting it, I think, just like that. We're going to be using also the SO2s, and then the SO5. Bring that down a little bit. There we go. Look at this. Going up, going down. That's pretty cool. All right. Every now and then you get where you'll have more than one of something. As long as you have instructions that go beyond that. We have 13? We do. We have 13. Okay. Oh, I know what these are. Okay. This is pretty cool, though. So I'm going to put this aside because I know where the next ones go. All right. All right. Next. First thing that we're going to do is we're going to be taking this right here, this little itty bitty thing, and we're going to be taking this right here. So these two parts right here. And we're going to be, I remember when cars had this exact, we had a car just like this, actually. I'm going to stick that in there. And I'm going to be getting a PS07 screw. Wow. It's just so small. It's just it's such a small detail. It's going to be really hard to get it on there good. But I think that's it. That is it. Yep. Which I could loosen it just a tad, so that it'll spin a little bit better. Yep. Almost would rather it be tight. But okay, there's that piece. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this piece right here and this right here, which, oh, I guess it doesn't have a, oh, it does have a flat side. So you have a little flat side that's going to match up. There it goes. And I'm going to secure that on with that one of these P25 screws, which are over here. Okay. Whew. And boom. Look at that little detail. I don't know why they can just mold that on there, but fine. All right. And then I'm going to take, let's see here. So I'm taking this piece first, and we're going to stick it onto here, just like, okay, just like that, flipping it over, and we're gonna use a PS25s. Okay, just like that. Then flipping this back over, right like that. Next, we're not putting this part on yet. Okay. Next, I'm bringing back my door. Just like this. Okay. And then, we're connecting these two things together. Just like so. I guess, yep. Just like so. Okay. Perfect. And then I'm going to attach two DS02 screws. So that's these. That'll use up my DS02s. Okay. Just like that. And then, when we've done that, now I'm going to bring this little puppy out. And it connects wherever this little thing is. So you're going to see right here, I've got this little piece like that. And it has a little notch. And it's going to be in a different place for everybody. Mine is this direction. So I'm going to have to stick it in. Just like this. I'm pushing it down. Just like that. And now, as I turn it, oh my gosh, there it goes. I never checked to see how far the window goes up or down. Oh, that is as far as it goes down. So right there, you can see where it rests. Yeah, so, but still, rolls a little bit down or roll it a little bit up. Kind of cool. All right. Now that we've got all that part done, now we're going to take this piece and we're going to just kind of lock it in underneath all these other parts, because look, I got parts here. Basically, you do this by okay, and then that one. Why did we put this on first? There we go. Perfect, perfect, perfect. And then we put this like, oops, back onto there, like that. Look at that. that does that. This is my latch, although I don't love the fact that it's scratching it right there. But, maybe that's what the real one did so too, I don't know. At the same time. Oh, and then when we push this little button right here, as you can see, it makes this little pin go in and out for unlocking the door, or opening the door, the latch. So there you go.
Now here's where I had to make a big decision, because issues 14 through 21 are what you just barely watched.
Making a second seat and also a second working door. So we now have 2 doors and 2 seats, 2 tires, 2 wheels, which we're about to work with a little bit more.
I decided I would just skip over that portion because there's nothing that deviates between the two. However, I did have my son put together that door. What I found were some things I ran into myself. One was this little latch piece. In order for it to work, you have to make sure that this little piece right here is flipped upward. And it's hard to tell that inside the magazine from the picture. So before you go screwing it all together and sticking it all together, you got to make sure that that's flipped up. Otherwise, you're going to have to take it apart and fix it. You also want to make sure that with the handle for the window that it's pointing upward somewhat. Otherwise, when you go to screw it together, that also might be in a place that isn't so great. Technically, this latch right here on the side doesn't really, or isn't supposed to touch, but when you're pushing it with your finger, it's hard not to let it slide against the door, and that will scratch the plastic. So I decided to sand it down a little bit, and that seemed to fix the problem.
So I believe I'll need to bring these over here, but for this next part. Next we got magazine 22, and we're going to be adding some things to my tires. And look how fine those some pieces are, so be really careful with some things. All right, so the first thing I'm going to be doing is taking this piece right here and this piece right here, and what I'm going to do goes like this, so it just connects around like that. Perfect. And then I'm going to be taking this piece right here, just like this. And then I'm going to take this piece right here and connects into those holes right there. Like this. Oh, it goes like this. Like that. There we go. All right. And then I'm going to take this piece and stick it on top of there. Just like that. I'm flipping it over now. Like this. I'm going to take this piece right here and slide it all the way in, and I'm going to be connecting it right there using a DS01 screw. That, okay, just like that. And then I'm going to flip this back over like that, and I'm going to pick up one of my tires here. I'm going to take that off for a second. And it looks as though, see the slot? It's going to match up with that slot right there. Somewhere right there. Come on. It's got to go up. Oh, it's shifting as I'm doing it. There it goes. All right. Okay. So now, that's like that. We're going to finally put in a DS12 screw. Yep. That's as tight as it goes. Perfect. Okay. Also retrieve the Shelby logo and place it in the center of the wheel to complete the assembly. Remember that here's the wheel with the magnet side. Oh yeah, these are magnetized. Watch this. Oh, that's good. It didn't do that before because there was no metal in there. Now there is. Very good. Look at that. So now we have this whole assembly with the brake included right there. It probably goes this direction, right? But anyway, we're at an angle. Very cool. All right. So that's that tire. That brings us to number 23. 10 to go. And that's going to be this piece right here. There's no screws that came with this. So I guess there's nothing we're going to be doing with the screw. But what we're going to be doing is taking these pipes right here and basically, see how pieces fit together? I think that's pretty much all we're going to be doing. Stick that onto there. Boom. Take this one and stick it onto there. Boom. And now we've got 2 tailpipes going. I thought it didn't matter which one's which, but apparently it does. So we want it to be on the inside. I need to switch these around. Like that. Okay. Alright. There we go. Very good. Okay. That was it for that one. 24. Not sure if we can do more with the tailpipes. Oh, it looks like we might be, but I'll put them to the side for a second. This right here is 24. Alright. Now, next I'm going to take, which one's which? 24A. This is 24B. Okay. This one is 24C. We're going to take 24C and we're going to hook it into here. Just like that. Yeah, like this. Right? Yep, that's the way it's supposed to go, alright? Okay, we're taking the other side. Same thing. And doing it just like that. Okay. And then I've got my mufflers here. Let's see here. I want this one right here to come in and connect right like that. Right. I want this one to come in and it's going to hook in just like that. Okay. Just like that. And then I'm going to take this piece right here, which has to face up like this. And we're going to stick those together like that. And then we're going to take these screws here and we're going to stick them in here. Just like this. Okay. And boom. Okay. Interesting. So we've got that little assembly going on. Alright. And then, now that we've got that, going on to number 25 here. 25 is the same wheel assembly that we've already done on the other side. No! Great. I just broke it. The reason why you gotta be careful with parts like this is because you could end up breaking them. As you can see, I kind of severed that one. I'm gonna try and get them to glue together here in a minute. But, I mean, I don't know. Best I could do, so I just glued it on. Moving forward, though. There we go. Alright. So we got that one. This one goes on the top of that. We flip it like this, and then we bring this piece around. We hook it on right there using one of these first. Trying to be careful not to further ruin the part I already broke. And then this piece is what I'm going to hook that into once when. So here again, we look for this peg right here. See the hole for it would be right about there as well. There it is. And then flipping it over, sticking that down in there. Okay. And just pop that on. Again, it's magnetized. And I put that right over here. All right. 26. 26. It looks like it's just like an oil pan. Let's see. There's two. That means there's only going to be one. Perfect. So we're going to be taking these right here. I'm going to put them like this first. And then I'm going to take those and I'm going to put them together just like this. Snip. All right, good enough. Now I'm going to take that on the bottom here. You'll see that I've got a little groove here. I'm going to be sticking that in here just like that, just like a key. Fits right into it. And then on the bottom here, we're going to be using our one and only screw that we're going to be putting in, and screws that into place. All right, look at that. 27. This one comes with a box that we actually get to open. Ah, there we go. A little more light. And ooh, very fancy. I can tell it's all metal. Ooh, it's like a present. Look at that. Gorgeous. Jeez. It's so big. You can really see the size of things at this point. That was it. Unwrapping that was the whole stage. It does show us where some of these things are going. So this piece right here is the very back. The pan and things also comes from that area. So my guess is that's what we're doing next, is now taking all these pipes and things and connecting together in number 28. Boom. What we are going to do is I'm going to take this, the way it's sitting right now, and I'm going to take this right here, and I'm going to be placing it just like this on top of here. Very good. All right. And then I'm going to flip that over just like this. I'm going to be taking this piece now, and I'm going to be putting it on right here like this. And I'm going to be connecting that with 4 of my screws here. Right. Now we're going to take this set of pipes right here. I'll flip that over now. And then I'm going to take this, just like this, and it's going to fit into these little holes all the way around. Maybe. If I can line it up right. And that one too. Perfect. And then I'm flipping that over. I'm going to screw those in as well as these screws right here. Okay, and one more. All right. And then 29. Another box right here. So pop this open. Slide this out. Unwrap that. Wow, look at that. Another full metal piece. This part also we're going to be actually screwing together. And so it looks like we attach that. Let's see. Over here. Is that correct? Yep. Like this. Using what? Any screws? DS02. Yep, that's it. All right. And now I've got this whole piece is all one thing now. It's number 30. We're only a few away from wrapping things up, kind of. We're going to be flipping this over. Where we now have this piece. And we have these tiny little pieces right here that I thought were screws, but they're not. On this side, in this hole right here, we are going to stick this piece down just like this. Bring it in on the other side with a PS01 screw. Okay. That's weird. A little bit weird. PS01 screws. Okay. There's one. Same thing on the opposing side. So we got these two pieces on here, right? Next, what we're going to do is we're going to attach this to this plastic piece. So it's going to go right here. Okay. Okay. PS01s. Great. All right. Next, I'm going to retrieve the chassis assembly, which is this right here. And I'm going to be putting this on top of that, just like this. And attaching the rest of this with those 02 screws, I believe. Yep. Sure enough, specifically 7 of them. Hopefully we got 7. All right, here it goes. Oh yeah, this is good. Nope, it isn't. There it goes. As you can see, we've got this side and we got this side all complete. And then that brings us to number 31, getting really close now. Now we've got this piece right here and this piece right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to first off, we're just pasting 2 screws for some reason right here. Okay. Seems strange. Okay, and now once one of those are in there, which now looks like that, I am going to take the back of this right here. Oh, I see why we screwed in those screws now. Okay, sure. That's what's going to hold it onto here, right? And so we're going to take it and we're going to slide it on just like this. Just like that. Okay? And then and that's it. Maybe I'll tighten it on a little bit more just in case. Just to hold it there for a second. There we go. All right. Number 32. So next, what we're going to do is we're going to take this piece right here and this piece right here, right? And I'm going to now, which you remember that we had this hanging like this, right? And now I'm going to bring this piece along, and it's going to hook onto the other side of that, just like so. Okay. And then I'm going to use DS02 screw, or 2 of them. We're going to put those onto each side of this. Okay. There we go. Looks pretty good so far. All right. And then we're going to also put 2 out here in the ends, here and here. So, okay. Those are nice and tight now. All right. And then that is pretty much that. But now what we're going to do is the fun part. We're going to take and we're going to slide these onto here. like so. Let's see here. What side of the chassis are we connecting this to here? So right here, I have these deep holes. I don't know if I'm going to be able to hold this together, but let's see what happens. So it's going to be going in here, like that. Okay, so just like that. Okay, with my little screws and everything. And then I'm going to flip this over with it in place for a second. And I'm going to take these little washers right here. I'm going to stick them on the opposing side here and here, I guess. And then we're going to be screwing in PS10s. Okay, which I only have to do 2 of. All right. Oh my gosh. This is so cool. I now have actual suspension. That's pretty cool. Oh, that's funny. Okay. And that brings us to number 33, which is our last magazine that we have to put together today. All right. Okay, here we go. Starting off with this piece right here, but I'm going to be taking one of these pieces right here. Now, the notch is up on this side right there. So that's the direction that it'll go. Now, I'm going to be taking a pin and sticking it through there, I guess. That's through to the other side. Perfect. Okay, so I got my pin through both sides. Then, repeat this operation on the other side. Okay, you got it. Just like that. Okay. There we go. I've got both sides fitted with screws, or with pins, I should say, on both sides. There we go. All right. Then, once when we have done that, we're going to be attaching it, and we're doing it here into that hole, and over here in this hole. We're using a PS05 screw on the opposite side. So I gotta flip this over. Okay, great. All right, that piece is now officially on there. Next, I'm gonna want to attach this with this piece pointing inward. Interesting, but it shows it somehow on the other side. Oh, you flip it over. So it goes like this. Yeah. And, but it also has to line up with this. There we go. And then we're going to use these 0-1 screws. I'm guessing, is that right? Yep. 0-1 screws. Oh, look at that. Wow, that is crazy. Okay. Huh. We've got, this is my a big portion of the undercarriage, it looks like, including my suspension and some of my fuel line. And then we've also got our wheels with our brake system. We've got our 2 seats right there. We got the front of our car that we did on a different day. We've got this portion of the engine that we did. And then we've got our 2 doors right there.
So there you go. What do you think? This is pretty cool so far. I can't wait to see it go farther. I'm just curious as to where I'm going to put it at the moment. This car will use up a majority of my table, so we'll see. Want to thank Fan Home for providing us with this model to be able to review, but they also gave us a promo code. So if you're interested in purchasing this, use the code SHELBYUS. Also be aware that we're putting together some other Fan Home models, including the Iron Spider, the half-scale Darth Vader, and the Millennium Falcon. That's right, I'm finally going to finish the Millennium Falcon. In the meantime, like, subscribe, comment below. This is your Geek Fix.